Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Tokyo Tribe, a Japanese action comedy musical from 2014 that's directed by Sion Sono. Near future Tokyo has split into 23 rival tribes that struggle for control against a backdrop of violence, sex, and corruption. Tensions between two of the tribes escalate when Mera, leader of the Bukuro Wu-Ronz tribe, attacks rival Tera from the Musashino Saru Tribe, and then sets his sights on eliminating his successor over a personal vendetta. When the high priest's daughter goes missing, ruthless crime lord Buppa enters the fray, and Tokyo becomes a battlefield as an all-out war erupts between the tribes. Oh, and did we mention it's all executed in the style of a hip-hop musical? So as you might expect, there are not that many Japanese hip-hop action comedy musicals floating around out there. Actually, there's probably not that many movies like this floating around anywhere in the cinematic landscape. But that's one of the things that makes Tokyo Tribe so entertaining. It has a certain uniqueness to it. And combined with Japan's talent in making extremely crazy friggin' movies that are also entertaining, we find ourselves confronted with a very memorable and fun cinematic experience. Now, to anyone familiar with Sono, it's no surprise that the direction in this film is pretty fantastic. He offers lots of long tracking shots, which is especially nice to see used in an action movie. Sometimes the camera just kind of slowly moves, and it shows us all the chaos that's happening, which I can appreciate because you can actually see what's happening. But he also uses tracking shots for, like, everything else. You know, for example, the opening shot is like a 4-minute long scene that's just uncut. With the camera, I don't know if they had it on a crane or what, and they were taking it around, like, this little city area, urban area, while you're getting, like, introduced to what's going on. Always impressive when a film crew can pull off scenes like this and shots like this. And that opening scene also allows us to kind of soak in the vibrant set designs, which are another big positive. I mean, the sets in this movie create a very fun environment because most of the film takes place at night among the neon lights. And the production also uses vibrant colors that complement the nighttime setting. Pretty great showcasing of, like, I don't know, describe it as like a hyper-real urban environment at night. It's a movie that I watch late at night whenever I watch it. You know, it's consistent with the atmosphere of the film. Now, plot-wise, there are a bunch of tribes that are introduced at the very beginning. Kind of difficult to keep track of the tribes and their members. This is rectified after repeat viewings, of course. You know, after you watch it, a few times, you remember stuff and can track things more easily. But even if you're a little bit confused, there's a lot of conflict to enjoy. The cast is huge. There are a few recognizable faces in this. Shota Somatani and Riki Takuchi are standouts. Yosuke Kubuzaka also has a supporting role. You'll notice him from Madness in Bloom, if you saw that film back in the day, as well as some of Toshiaki Toyoda's movies. And then we have Nana Seno, who appeared in the Mamoto Oshii film Nowhere Girl. Mamoto Oshii has made some huge anime films, like Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that. But he dabbles in live action, and she was in at least one of his films that I remember. And this actress, Nana, can move pretty well. She's pretty impressive during the fights. And speaking of action, Tokyo Tribe really kind of takes off near the midpoint when all hell breaks loose. You know, the entire second half of this movie is basically like one huge fight chase sequence involving like a plethora of characters that include deadly schoolgirls. And there are some pretty good martial arts and acrobatic maneuvers to behold in this, with, of course, some wide camera angles, as well as a few completely outrageous death scenes. Second half is really like purely entertaining on a minute-by-minute basis. So when the film ends, it's very satisfying. Tokyo Tribe has a very infectious energy that keeps you in it. Now, in terms of the musical stuff, I'm no expert in this kind of music, you know what I mean, the hip-hop type stuff. I mean, I listen to Bandmade and KMFDM a lot, so that's outside of this style. But when I watch the film, it seems to be a little bit of a mixed bag of good and not so good technique. I mean, some of the actors obviously have little to no experience singing this type of stuff, but it seems like some like professionals come in at certain points, or maybe they're amateur hip-hop artists. I'm not sure who a lot of these people are. They come in, and it seemed like the overall quality of the singing tends to pick up a little bit at times. So, and the fact that a lot of it is played for laughs helps too. Like the old lady with like the turntable. So they're kind of they're just having fun with this. It's I don't know what you would say, an ode to this type of music, which is pretty cool. Now, those of you who are familiar with this type of music, I would be very interested in hearing your opinion on like the overall quality of the music in this film. Like, did you think it was actually pretty good? Did you think it was horrible? Like, I have no idea what, you know what I mean? So let me know in the comments section below what you think. I'd be interested in hearing that. And then one final observation is that this movie is on the perverted side, which again is no surprise if you're familiar with either this director or Japanese cinema in general. I mean, in this film, there's just like a ton of just scantily clad or nude women just littered all over the place, and some brief bits of sexuality. But, you know, I mean, if you've seen a lot of Japanese and Hong Kong exploitation movies, this kind of thing does not faze you anymore. But if you're sensitive to those type of things, you have been warned. But overall, I really enjoy Tokyo Tribe, and I strongly recommend it. I've seen this movie like 4 or 5 times, and I'll watch it on a regular basis. And watching movies like this is like refreshing for me, because it's very different from a lot of the stuff that's out there. It's available streaming on Amazon, and the easiest physical media copy available is a Region 4 DVD with subtitles. And as always, we will see you next time.